The individuals who participate in this after action review, they know coming into the next session, they're going to have a debrief. They're going to have an AAR. So they take a look at the feedback, they can reflect some, and then when they walk into the classroom, they'll see the Legos. So this is a Lego after action review.
Does anyone know what Legos are? The little brick tile things that kids play with that are building blocks. Okay, I thought everyone knew Legos.
And if you don't have Legos, there are other ways to connect things together. You could use a picture, you could paint a picture, you could use blocks, but the focus here is the Legos initially. But they'll come in and they'll see this huge random stack of Legos on the table in front of them. And of course, the chatter picks up because they're wondering, how are we going to debrief with Legos in front of us? But they slowly start to put everything together. I talk before the AAR starts, I talk about having the open and honest conversation, that everyone needs to participate. I talk about the feedback that I've received before, and it's hard to take in, but this is a learning process. I also encourage them to take ownership of everything they've received, so then we can have a more robust outcome.
And those are sort of your ground rules that you set up.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So the goal here is to build a structure as a team, to build a unique Lego structure. I tell them to picture themselves as individual Legos, that they can stand alone, they can be independent, but yet they can connect to others, and thinking about how you can connect to your teammates and build something more unique and be collaborative in that process. So that's why I'm using Legos. But the teammate who speaks first when they go around will begin the Lego creation, and they discuss their own feedback they received. So what they learned about themselves in terms of their strengths, their weaknesses, and then what they're going to do differently or keep the same for the next project. So this is just focused on the individual at this point.
Okay.
They will build the Lego pieces to start off with. They can talk and build at the same time. They can talk first, then build, and they'll pass it on to the next teammate. It will slowly make it around.
With no stipulation about what they're building. You've given them no, and they haven't even discussed that as a team. It's just the individual starting to put some blocks together as they process.
Yes.
And then hand it off.
Yes. And at the very end, there are very unique structures, but the teams love it, and the teams feel more bonded afterwards. That's been the overwhelming majority of feedback I've received, that they were able to have this serious discussion, but create this fun structure. Once the team is completely finished, they make a team goal sheet based on what everyone said. Here's what we plan on doing differently, keeping the same, all of that information. Here are our strengths as a team. Here are the weaknesses. Here are the things that we need to do more of or less of. This is what we're going to do different next time.
And that's a collective document at that point. So that's not about the individual. We've talked about that, but the piece we've documented is that team piece. And I think maybe that would be a great place. Andy Thistle in the comments mentioned, how do you capture all the great ideas that come up, but you just didn't have time to implement them, or maybe they weren't quite right for that project? Maybe that goals sheet is a great place for that it becomes a category in and of itself. If it's, what are we going to do differently? What are the great ideas we had that we didn't get on, but that we can start integrating? Maybe that is a place that's just if that happens frequently to your team, keep that as part of that goal sheet. I love that.
Yeah, the documentation that's what's key here is documenting what we're hoping to do next time, so you don't forget that information.
Yeah. What do they do with their structures when they're done? Are they so proud they don't want to put them back in the box, or what?
Yes, we take a lot of pictures. They end up posting them elsewhere, maybe on social media. But I get emails from students afterwards talking about the impact and that it's changed their team dynamic, because they were able to have this serious, needed conversation, but yet felt like, ooh, this is a cool outcome. We made this together. It's just
Yeah.
completely different than what they're used to. And this would be different too for any kind of professional setting as well.